Our top story tonight, the nation's largest gun control legislation in decades is now law. Today at the White House, President Biden hosted an event to mark the passage of what's called the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. Now, this legislation enhances background checks for young gun buyers. It adds dating or intimate partners to those who can be banned from gun ownership if they're a domestic abuser. And the bill incentivizes states to pursue red flag and mental health programs. Well, support for the legislation grew after mass shootings in Buffalo, New York and Uvalde, Texas. The president actually signed the bill last month. Victims of the shootings and the families were invited by the White House to attend today.
The provision of this new legislation is going to save lives, and it's proof that today's politics, we can come together on a bipartisan basis to get important things done, even on an issue as tough as guns.
At one point, President Biden told the father of a victim of the Parkland High School shooting recently, to sit down when he stood up and heckled the president during his speech, saying the bill didn't do enough.
Because make no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say. If you think you...
I'm trying to tell you this for years.
Local reaction tonight at 11 to the bill from News Channel 11's John Janko.
Supporters of the legislation welcome enhanced background checks for individuals aged 18 to 20, which now include juvenile records and give agencies more time to search for records. The leader of Tri-Cities Moms Demand Action, a group calling for gun control, says that extra time is crucial.
Let's say someone is in crisis and they are threatening to go do a mass shooting. They go and buy a gun that day, but they're 20 years old. That person is not going to be leaving the store with a gun that day.
A Carter County gun store owner says that age group already receives background checks in Tennessee with data from state and federal agencies.
As Tennessee dealers, we go through the TBI, which it also goes through a national database through the FBI.
Earlier today, President Biden renewed calls for further gun control, including an assault weapon ban. At a Sullivan County Republican fundraiser, a lifelong gun owner says the focus should be on existing law.
There's probably a good case for doing a better job enforcing the laws we have, but I personally would rather see us focus on the shooters or the problem instead of the instrument.
The bipartisan gun law does provide billions of dollars for states to pursue funding for mental health services in schools and communities. State Senator John Lundberg says he'd like to see the state get some of that money to invest in mental health.
You look at mental health and security, those are critical issues. We put a lot of money into mental health, and I think that's important. We'll probably continue to do that.
But the bill also provides incentive for states to enact or strengthen red flag laws, taking away guns from people at risk of hurting themselves or others. Tennessee federal lawmaker Diana Harshbarger says that's why she voted no on the bill in the House.
It's all about red flag laws and due process. You won't get due process with this. Anybody can come in and say a whole lot of things about you, and they have the right to confiscate your weapons.
Fuchs says Moms Demand Action is pushing state lawmakers to enact red flag laws in Tennessee.
Having a gun, access to a gun in that moment, makes the situation much more likely to be deadly.
For News Channel 11, I'm John Jenko.
Again, the legislation also closes what's called the boyfriend loophole. Convicted domestic abusers are now prohibited from purchasing guns. Previously, the law only stopped abusers married to, living with, or those who had children with a victim.